Hello everyone and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. It is Tuesday, June the 4th, 2019, and we are here for show number 86. Let's go! Come on! Really big matches today, where at least I'm going to say there was two lopsided matches, one match that should have been lopsided, and then we had Martic and Vondrousova. So some good tennis to talk about, and we're going to get into that pretty quickly today, and hopefully make this show quick for everyone. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and hopefully everyone is having a great early part of their week. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon here, Central Standard Time, and the USA here in Alabama. So hopefully everyone is having a good day and staying positive. So day number 10 of the French Open has just completed, and we have or at least half of the semifinals set. So we're going to get right into that, and let's just jump right in. All right. So let's get right into news. I have a topic and some results. So let's go. Everybody ready? Let's go. Come on. Real quickly, I wanted to do a quick update on the prize giveaways as this tournament is winding down. Number one, the tennis racket giveaway, which is a Wilson 100 Burn S, a 100S countervail. Really nice racket with a 4 1/4 grit, which I will freshly string for you. Slightly used, but in excellent condition. There are only 3 people left. I am now out as I lost my Sloane Stephens today, so that ruled me out of the competition. So everyone that is still alive are the following: Peter Dijkstra and Sweden, Furzy09. What's up, Furzy? Long time original viewer. So I'm pulling a little bit for Furzy here because
I think from what I recall, Furzy is in the United States.
Yeah, and Furzy is the only one that has both finalists still intact as well. And lastly, Kenneth Chow in Canada. So best of luck to all of you. If, though, Simona Halep loses before the final, everyone is out. Okay, you need Simona Halep to win. The second prize giveaway we did was for selecting a fantasy team that consisted of 8 men and 8 women, and got a point for each one as they proceeded through the draws, 5 of which being in the top 20, and the rest had to be outside the top 20 for both the men and the women. It looks like at this point, Kasper, aka Deceville in Poland, has run away with it. There still is some long shot chances that this could not happen, but it looks like that he has run away with it. He is and I haven't finished totaling it up from today, but he's around 5 points ahead of everyone, and pretty much has the same players that everyone else has, maybe less 1 or 2. So it looks like he's going to run away with it, but we'll make sure we do a final total after the finals are complete. So that'll be the last update we do, and I'll announce the winner after the final ball has been struck, okay? So good job, Casper. At this point, it looks like you will win your 3rd prize in a row. Great job.
This guy's a tough competitor.
Tough guy.
Yeah.
He's going to have a whole lot of strings.
I hope you're using them.
Or maybe he'll represent with a 5K tennis shirt in Poland. We have one in London right now.
Yeah.
Let's spread it, right? Come on, let's go. All right. The weather in Paris, by the way, we've been trying to incorporate the weather with this tournament. Again, there's no roof, it's clay, and sometimes matches are delayed for quite a bit of time here in Paris. I think Simone Simonovic, what's up? Updated us yesterday about the potential mucky day that was going to be off and on today, and then the likelihood of all day tomorrow. So it was very cool starting the tournament. It got up to around 90. It was very hot. It was around 80 degrees today, and it's supposed to be wet, damp throughout the day tomorrow and be around 59, 60 degrees. So a cold, wet day or a cool, wet day in Paris tomorrow. So will we get rained out tomorrow for the French Open? I don't know, but it's a possibility. So if it does get rained out and we don't do our daily show tomorrow, it's because it was rained out, right?
That would be terrible for Djokovic, Zverev, who are playing. Khachanov is playing against Thiem. That would not be good because that means they would have no rest.
So, real quickly, if you can tell by my hat and my shirt, we once again are having a Nadal-Federer face-off, and we are going to get into the Federer-Wawrinka match, right into it. I took notes, watched every ball. We're going to get into every match, but I do have my divided house attire on. Federer fan here. She bought me this shirt, and I just decided to wear it. So, house divided. So we will be very competitive here.
It's not going to be really divided. Honestly, maybe earlier in their career, I've learned to love both of them. I mean, I loved Nadal before Federer. I didn't like Federer in the beginning of his career, but you know, I kind of want Federer to win tomorrow or in the next 2 days.
Carla, when Carla and I met, I've obviously been a Federer fan since we watched him play some in the juniors. So just put it that way, but. Carla used to call Federer a crybaby all the time.
Crybaby,
her and
Cabbage Patch Kid.
Yeah, and we would go out to the courts and play, and she would just tee off on me about Federer being a crybaby for years. So I'm glad to hear that her mind has changed, but it didn't change terribly long ago. I mean, we're talking decades of her, or a decade of her calling Federer a crybaby.
When Roddick was playing him in the Wimbledon final, I was rooting for Roddick, like all the way. I was tired of seeing Federer win, but I've learned to love him, I think, after he lost to Del Potro at the U.S. Open.
Arguably one of the best matches ever was, well, not ever, I'd say top 10, was when Federer beat Roddick at Wimbledon. Roddick had that match on his racket, and it just didn't happen. Anyway, I won't make you want to call Federer a crybaby.
No, I love Federer now. I mean, I'm going to miss this man when he retires from tennis. It's going to be tough watching the top 3 leave tennis because they have so many fans and different type of fans, and they have different type of styles. And I don't know, they just bring a different ambience to the crowd, to the court. I mean, they're just different, and I don't think we'll see that for many, many years.
Really excited about the matchup. We'll get into it here shortly. Real quickly, we're going to have a topic as usual to kind of run into to start the show. And this topic comes from an article that Carla and I read this morning early in the New York Times that was written by Christopher Clary. And again, this was a well-written piece. I'm not saying I agree or disagree with it, but I thought it was a good topic, and it was a positive piece. But here we go. We'll discuss it real quickly. Here was the name of the article. Quote, American tennis gets an infusion of talent from immigrant families again. One more time, restate it. American tennis gets an infusion of talent from immigrant families again. Okay. So let's discuss that. Let's discuss this. What was the flavor of the article? It was a long one, but it involved players with the likes of Pete Sampras, Andre Agassi, the young Sophia Kenin, and on and on and on. Michael Chang, Anisimova, and the like. And I'm going to explain what I mean by the like. So the opening sentence, just for the flavor of the article, so the thesis statement per se, was this, and I'll quote the opening sentence from the article. Quote, where would American tennis be without immigrant families? I'll repeat that. Opening statement for the flavor. Where would American tennis be without immigrant families? End quote. By the way, I must reiterate something in case you don't know. Carla is an immigrant, or directly from her parents, just like a lot of these players are. Anisimova, Sharapova, a lot of...
Sharapova's still around.
Well, but I'm just saying, she flies the flag, and that's not what this is about. This isn't about flags, because tennis is a global sport that eliminates boundaries, and yes, you fight for your country, but tennis overall, from a diehard fan's perspective, from a diehard player's perspective, the flags don't really matter. It's a great match, and you kind of hug at the end, like the Vondrousova and Martic match.
Vondrousova. We've been saying it wrong.
to see a match like those two, for me, wasn't the best match of the year, maybe top 10, but the way they fought it out, the way they respected one another's game, the court conduct was stellar. There was some grunting on, I forget if...
It was both of them were.
I think there was...
Martic was...
But it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. And I just felt like watching people play like that in the respect of one another, it doesn't matter where you're necessarily from. But back to the article. So in this article, the author, Chris Clary, mentions that there are players with the likes of Pete Sampras, whose grandparents were Greek, Andre Agassi, I forget where his ancestry was, but it was a generation or two removed from the United States.
Middle Eastern is his background, his parents.
Andre Agassi?
Or his dad, yes. I can look it up. I can grab the iPad real quick.
No worries. But the flavor. Michael Chang, and by the way, Michael Chang, and I've mentioned this before, my family, my sister Amy and myself actually grew up and played with this Chang family at San Diego Tennis Club in Carlsbad, California. What a great family. What a great true American family, by the way. No one looks at or ever looked at anyone where I came from, at least in Southern California, as an immigrant. We were just tennis players, and we respected one another, and we trained together, and we practiced together, and we ate together, and we snacked together, and we ran in the woods together. So I don't see it as the same way as the flavor of the article. I'll continue. The mention was Anisimova, who, by the way, his family came over here with a total of $200 in the bank to move to the Mecca of tennis in southern Florida. So what I'm getting at, isn't that one of...
Well, she's from New Jersey. She was born in New Jersey. So they moved to Florida later on.
There was a mention of Sophia Kenin. First of all, the reason why I bring this up, and again, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with the article was positive. So let me reiterate, it was a good article. I didn't see necessarily really the need to elaborate. I just thought it was unnecessary. But first of all, the United States was founded by immigrants from all over the world, and still to this day is counted on immigrants to keep the United States great. Number one, that's what this country is about. Hopefully, anyway. Definitely won't get into politics. But at some point, I think all of us in the United States were descendants of immigrants from somewhere. Right. So because my descendants were Switzerland, German, Austrian, what am I supposed to not say I'm an American tennis player? I mean, is there a rule book that indicates how long you've been here that you have to decide what? Do you see what
I didn't understand the article because we all come from immigrants, all of us. So it was kind of odd. I said, that makes no sense.
So Carla, if when you were playing challengers and so forth, and potentially could have gone pro if not for children and other beautiful things in life, would you have flown the Honduran flag? No, exactly. So I only mention this because of the article. So here's another. A couple of notes that I wrote down, and again, this is for your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think that, and what I'm ultimately going to end with is, do you think if it weren't for quote unquote immigrant families, would there be no American tennis? I get the argument, and it's a good one. I mean, if you look at things that way. But for me, if you live here and you play here, it's an asset to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. I love the way you play the game. Doesn't really matter what flag you fly, but hey, do you want to go out and play a set? I hope it's a great match, and I look forward to hopefully inviting you to dinner afterwards. I don't think it really matters.
I didn't understand the article. I really did. I really didn't. The only person that it made sense was Sophia Kenin was Russian, came to the United States and where's the plays for the United States. That's the only one I can say, because Anisimova was born here. Sampras was born here, Chang was born here, Agassi was born here. It's almost like, let's say, Navratilova, who now, when you look at her tennis player, she has the American flag, with Monica Seles, same thing, they switched over. That's the only way I would see that article make sense. Other than that, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it was kind of like a one big run-on sentence.
It doesn't make sense.
But by the way, Kenin was quoted in the article. Beautiful way of saying things. She's very proud to play in the United States, and that was quote unquote,
she said that's
her
my
home
country.
and her country. So, however, because of the article, I just want to give you kind of an opinion on why this is. Why is it that an article like this would be written? Is tennis a dying sport in the United States? Yes, we've done a show on this. I think 3 or 4 times when we were just starting, and we've had a couple people, new viewers, as they come on, will ask us to do it, and we've done it again and again for the viewers. By the way, if you ever have something you want us to do a show on that's in your head and you want us to do it, we'll do it. We'll be brutally honest, but we'll do it. We've done it before.
Obviously, many times.
But let's ask ourselves why this article would even come to being, and why is it the case that it would even be an idea. here in the United States, you can find a basketball court, a baseball field, a football field on every corner.
For free.
Anywhere there's a
For
school,
free.
anywhere there's
You
a
don't have to
public
pay.
park, you've got them all. And the grass is cut, the baseball diamonds are groomed, the outfields are cut, there's advertisers and sponsors everywhere. In terms of finding a tennis court, best of luck with that.
Good luck, yes.
The closest tennis court to us, with the thanks to the town of Dauphin Island, which we live in, they redid our courts, and we're blessed to be able to have them. But the closest to here, besides 2 courts, 50 minutes away, and of course you're going to pay to play, and you get in trouble if you coach your own children there. So you have to just go there to play, and if you coach someone, the commission pro there may ask you to leave because someone may be stepping on their toes. So it becomes a big issue in coaching for sure. And if you want to play, you got to pay to play, and then you have to take from the coach that's there, even though you may not like the person. They're still the closest courts. I'm not saying I don't like them at all, but that's how it works.
That's changed though, because back when we were kids, or when I was a kid, in New York, they had a lot of public courts. You paid a small fee, but you were allowed to coach your kids. My dad always did. It wasn't a big problem as it is now.
And it's a huge problem now. Carla and I have brought our 5 children out to courts numerous times in the multiple moves that we have been through all over the country in a sense. We'll bring our kids out. Next thing you know, we've got some worker that's passing on a message, hey, you can't coach out here. There's a pro here for that. And we're like, those are our children, right? Yeah, but he doesn't like it. You guys got to stop doing that. Just play, or you guys need to go. Have we heard that before, Carla?
Many. We're not the only parents. There are many coaches out there that have dealt with the same thing. I've heard many
times.
Stories. Yes.
Now, a lot of these families that immigrate here are immigrating to the United States in a sense for an opportunity to do good. Not necessarily just for tennis, but for themselves. I thought it was a good story. What was it? Sophia Kennan's parents that moved over here with $200 in their hand, American, and just a hope and a prayer. And they did it, and that's what I think it's about. I don't think it's because the immigrants are any better or worse. I think immigrant is a kind of a segregational word in the first place.
We are all from different places.
So let's forget the word immigrant first and foremost, and just say we're lucky that we have families that come from abroad that want to live here, and because there are tennis courts and more tennis freedom and more a desire to play in those places, they come here and they just continue what they love to do, and you know what? In this country, everyone wants to play football, everyone wants to play baseball, everyone wants to play basketball, but no kids these days are raised and pushed into playing, and good for anyone that brings their little ones here or comes here and has their first generation of players born into or children born into a family of players. Because it makes more tennis players on this planet, and ultimately, that is the greater good. Doesn't matter. Look, if you're here and playing tennis and you want to say you play for the United States or anybody, great. The more the merrier, right? I don't need to read a 20-page dissertation on if it weren't for immigrants that there would be no USA Tennis. How about if it wasn't for hardworking people that wanted an opportunity to in their own mind, better themselves and pulling it off? Bravo. But I do get what the article was written about. I get it. I mean,
maybe the title was wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily wrong. It was a positive article.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't bad written. It wasn't anything negative at all.
Sure.
It was highly positive. But I disagree with kind of the title in that. I think it should be more of a story about how hard someone worked. And now here they are playing tennis and have zero to do with an immigrant playing in the USA. Anyway, but I get what he was saying. It was a good, positive message. What are your thoughts on that? Maybe it was a moral topic kind of brought up with tennis as kind of the variable. And maybe no one has any thoughts on it. But we thought it was a good article. Good article. All right, everyone, let's jump right into results and draws from today. And this should be brief. We only have a couple of matches. Let's roll.
Some were quick, too. Sloane Stephens, the number 7 seed from the USA, goes down to Johanna Konta from Great Britain. 6-1, 6-4. Well, that match ended in 71 minutes. It seemed like Sloane Stephens was not there, or more like a one-sided match. Konta had 25 winners, which was almost more double than Stevens. Her serve was on. She was returning very well, putting the ball away. It seemed like Sloane Stevens never had a chance to really get into the match. I saw a lot of moonballing, which was not good on Sloane Stevens' part. Who would have ever thought that Konta would have made it to the semifinals of the French Open, which she never passed the first round in all the years that she's played?
I've guessed it. Again, if this was a couple of years ago when she got hot then, I still would, to be honest, I'm going to be honest, I still wouldn't have guessed it here on clay. I mean, I think overall her track record is subpar. I think this is the first time she even got out of the first round at this tournament.
Yes, first time ever. And it's also the first British woman to reach semifinals since 1983. Joe Dury did it in 1983, so good for this country. I mean, honestly, Konta looks very relaxed when I saw her. She didn't even cheer, she didn't even celebrate. She's very calm, and who knows if she'll win the French Open. Good for her, because she deserves a slam. I mean, I wonder if any bettors out there even picked her to win the French Open before it started.
What you mentioned two things. Number one, great knowledge drop on the last British when we were both writing today, but we have lessons to teach later, so we kind of teamed up on this one. But great knowledge drop. That was like a Jeopardy knowledge drop on the last British player to win. I didn't even think about that.
No, to reach the semifinals.
Well, whatever.
Reach the semifinals.
Well, whatever. Either way, that's even better. I didn't think about that. That's great research, Jeopardy type stuff. In case you're a Jeopardy fan, James Holzhauer lost last night, and good for the young lady that beat him. Big Jeopardy fan. Personally, I think I beat the dude twice in front of my kids on the TV, but I wasn't having to click a button. Anyway, good job for the young lady. But back to Konta. Is it also true? You mentioned that Konta had good court conduct in a way.
Yeah, she. Usually players throw themselves and stuff. She seems very calm, like she's been meditating.
Can anyone name? And this is a tip. I'm tipping my hat. Salute to UK or British or Scottish tennis players. The Wimbledon, they wear all whites, and even the tournament organizers are real selective of what the crowd can even wear. You have to wear this and you can't wear that, even for the crowd, much less the players. But England has always, in my opinion, developed humble, and I'm not saying extremely humble, all of them. Murray's had his times. Tim Henman has had some of his times.
No, I've never seen Henman throw a fit.
No, I'm not saying throw a fit. I mean, aggravated, argue with the ump, just something small.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, even Federer is human, right?
Yeah.
At points in time. Even a dog gets aggravated at points in times. But for the most part, can anyone name kind of a super bratty, if that's even the right word to use, British tennis player? I can't. And we have McEnroe in the United States. U.S. has Kyrgios in Australia. You have Nastasi, and the list goes on. You can always name a bad boy in a certain country, but I don't know if I could ever name a bad boy.
I think
from
the only
UK.
one that's probably been punished for doing something bad is Daniel Evans. That's it.
Well, that was off court though.
No, not on court. There's no one that's.
Yeah, no. Forget about the off court stuff. I mean, on court conduct. I personally think in all of sports, no matter what the sport is, that personal lives should be put to the side, and how you play on the field. That's just how I feel. I don't think, unless it's like domestic violence or rape or something crazy.
I can't think
but
of any British player.
Daniel Evans is a good tennis player, fine young man. I truly hope that his second chance gets even better. I like the guy, but I can promise you I've never seen Evans have a true meltdown on the court. Maybe he has. I haven't.
No, I can't think of any player.
But good job for Konta nonetheless. I don't think that Sloane Stevens ever had the chance to find a rhythm.
She did say in her interview that she felt like Konta didn't even give her a chance to get into her, her groove. She felt like she didn't have a chance. It just flew so quickly.
I know the feeling well. Sometimes you get out, play a match, warm up great, you practice great, you're playing a great tournament, and someone just finds a way to hit to you every ball that you don't like to hit. Deep balls to your feet, high backhands. I hit a one-hander. A really well-placed lobs that it takes a minute bowl to get up there. The basketball player 8 feet to reach them. So I get the feeling. Konta probably looked at this match from the perspective of with her and her team and her coaches, that I'm going to make sure that I'm putting the ball every place that I know Sloane Stephens is the most vulnerable. I'm not gonna try to blast her off the court, but I'm gonna make her hit difficult shots on every ball. And Stephens was the recipient of that, and she never found a rhythm, and ultimately she lost 1 in 4. And furthermore, I lost my fight on the tennis racket.
Yes, you did.
Anyway,
Yes,
good job for Konta.
I got a message right away from Rahesh.
Yeah, I mean,
he was like, "Ooh, Stevie's lost."
Yeah, that one hurt me. But the next.
Oh, and Ethan too sent me a message.
What's up, Ethan? DJ?
Ethan said, "Ooh, Justin must not be loving this right now."
Yeah, I didn't like it too much. The next match, though, and by the way, I mentioned at the beginning of the show there were some lopsided matches, and then there was one that should have been, and then we had a good one. This was one of the lopsided matches. Okay.
Yeah,
so
Konta was up. Next match, we had Marketa Vondrousova, who defeated Petra Martic from Croatia, your 31 seed, 7-6, 7-5. Martic actually had a few chances on the second set, but couldn't capitalize, breaking, and then holding on to her serve. By the way, this 19-year-old Czech player, Vondrousova, is a very smart player. She has a very beautiful one-handed slice backhand. She knows how to drop it really well into the corner. We watched her use this point pretty effective. She keeps you going side to side to side. And one thing I noticed about play is that you must be very patient, and very patient indeed.
Well, I think we know this. This is
probably why I don't. I like quick points. Personally, me. I'm talking about me when I play. I want to finish you in 1, 2, 3. I don't want to have to rally 100 times.
I know the feeling. That's when she beats me. That's what she does. So
yeah, I don't enjoy those long grinding points.
I don't think anyone really does. I think that on clay sometimes you have to be more patient.
Well, I don't like pushing the ball. I like hitting it flat. Boom, put it away.
They
do that in clay.
These two girls played a wonderful match. I give them both a standing ovation.
They did.
Number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, I really feel like the crux of this match for Martic losing was one thing. She doesn't need to slice so much. Look, I hit a one-handed backhand, and it is effective for neutralizing the point, number one. It's effective if someone is approaching or playing short, and chip one low and drive it to their feet, two. Or three, it's good to drive that down-the-line slice to their backhand and come in behind it. If they're a right-handed player, I guess you would be down-line it to a forehand on a left-handed player, or vice versa, rather. But Martic tended to lay up the slice. I'm going to say 7.5 times, 7.5 out of 10 times early on. I thought she could have capitalized and won the first set if she would have hit some more backhands instead of just routinely cross-court slice back to her backhand. So she's a lefty, so forehand. But there was a lot of cross-court to her forehand off of Martic's sliced backhand, and that costs you because when you're slicing to someone's forehand, they're going to have an opportunity to drive the ball up the line, or especially a left-hander to hit a wicked cross-court angle and draw them even further off the court, or an outright winner. And that happened a lot. Well, not a lot, but enough to make it a very tight match in Vondrousova's favor. And I think Vondrousova, if she plays that way, being left-handed too, as an asset here against Konta, I think Vondrousova may very well end up in the final.
Well, Konta and Vondrousova are they have 1-1 head-to-head. Konta beat her in Rome in 3 sets on clay, so she's beaten her before on clay.
All right, everybody, who do you have winning the semifinal between Johanna Konta, the British player, or Vondrousova, who is from the Czech Republic, right?
Yes.
All right, who's going to win? I'm going to go with Vondrousova here if I had to bet, but I'm going to pull for Konta here, the veteran that I would love to see her have a Cinderella story here.
On my fantasy group, I have Vondrousova. But I like to see Konta, the veteran, win.
All right, moving over to the first match on the men's side, which is...
Well, let's talk about the boring match.
Okay, it's Nishikori Nadal. We'll get that out of the way.
Yeah, we all knew that Nishikori, the great 5-set fighter, the warrior who likes to go to 5 sets, would go down to Nadal pretty quickly.
We knew this would happen.
We all knew this.
I didn't think it would be quite so bad, but it was pretty bad. We probably, if we had like a calculator that could make the amount of time we spend on this match commensurate with how much time was supposed to go into that match and it didn't happen, I wonder how long we should talk about it. Maybe 3 seconds?
The score was 6-1, 6-1, 6-3. Was anyone surprised?
Wow.
Anybody surprised here?
Nope. It was so easy for Nadal that he was hitting backhand or forehand overheads behind him for winners, or forced errors, actually, which you could call that a winner, without even looking. I mean, he was running back after balls, and he was up so big. He did like a no-look overhead like this. Boom, didn't even look back and won the point.
I think I would have
just toying with him.
I would have preferred seeing Pair, because at least Pair would have been smashing some rackets, so it would have been a bit more exciting for the crowd. You know, they could have gone, ooh, ah.
You know,
but
yeah.
This was, not good.
Who needs a racket smasher, though?
I'm just saying. It would have brought more excitement than this. This was, not good. For Nishikori, he called out the trainer, I think, for his shoulder. Rain delay, came back. It was done in 1, 2, 3.
By the way, what was I going to say just then? I had something off the top of my head and I just forgot it. Oh well, forget about it. It was trivial. It wasn't written. I just thought about it. All right, next match.
Next match was Stan Wawrinka against Roger Federer for the millionth time. It went to 4 sets, 7-6, 4-6, 7-6, 6-4, Federer. You've watched this match. I had to teach a lesson in the morning, so I only got to see maybe one set. It was the one-handed backhand against the one-handed backhand. From what I heard, there were a lot of break points, 16 break points that Federer couldn't capitalize on, and finally did. I love both of them. I can't say that I enjoyed this match too much.
I enjoyed the match a lot, honestly. I know where she is coming from in a sense. I enjoyed it a lot. Obviously, I'm a huge Federer fan. I think all of you know that. But I always like to take notes when I watch Federer matches. So I just wrote down a couple of notes, and I was doing some other work, so I was watching and writing notes. But here's a couple of notes that I wrote, and then we'll talk about it just for a moment. By the way, what I forgot to say, I just remembered it. I mentioned as the show started, there was 2 lopsided matches, okay? Then there was one that should have been lopsided, and then there was one close one. So the lopsided one was Nadal Nishikori. The other lopsided ones was Stevens and Konta. The close one was Martic and Vondrousova. And the one that should have been lopsided but wasn't was the Wawrinka-Federer match. If Federer plays this way against Nadal, Nadal will beat Federer, and I will hate to say it, but probably 3-4 and 4, 6-3, 6-4, 6-4, maybe even worse.
Well, the record is 13-2. 13-2 Nadal and Clay.
Let me just tell you why Federer will be beaten badly, alas, if he plays this way that he played against Wawrinka. Number one, Federer rushed a lot of points. He did not look patient. He was, and this was early on through the entire match. He was hitting the ball aggressively and missing a lot, especially off the backhand wing. He would be going for a lot of backhand returns by slicing it into play instead of even putting a ball neutral up the center of the court. He would either slice it to the backhand, and we all know that you slice it to Wawrinka's backhand, he's going to be offensive right off the get-go. So he didn't really try to drive many backhands, but I get why, because he was missing it so much. He wasn't just missing it. He was hitting backhand down the line, especially into the center of the net repeatedly, sometimes even into the bottom of the net. Wow. So if there was a confidence issue with the backhand, well, guess what's going to happen with Nadal? Nadal already knows it can be suspect and break down, and when accompanied with high topspin there off the forehand wing because he's a lefty, oh my, it could start hurting really quickly. Number one, Federer had 6 break chances early on, very early on, completed 0. Nadal will be converting break chances. I can promise you, at least 2 of 6. He won't go 0 for 6. It's possible, but doubtful here on the clay. There were a lot of shots that Federer hit at the wrong time. Instead of hitting to an open court, he was going for some fancy pass right at Wawrinka or some ooh-ah shot. And not only would it not work, but he would miss that shot. He wasn't patient. He wasn't working the court. I already said that. But there were certain shots that I usually don't see Federer hit.
Like the inside-out forehand that I saw, that he would leave that wide open. I mean, I don't know why he hit those inside-out forehands, by the way. That's a lot of running. It was at the wrong moment, because then all Wawrinka had to do was hit it cross-court, and he couldn't get to it.
Yeah, I mean, I get the point of the inside-out forehand, but generally Federer will hit his share of backhands. But again, there had to have been a confidence issue here, because Federer, believe me, understands that you are vulnerable if you don't take that inside-out for a winner or a very well-placed shot, so you can get back neutral and cover the backhand side. He knows this. but I think he was missing the ball so much. He was putting extra effort into the inside out. But let's fast forward. Federer finally broke Wawrinka at 4-4 in the third set. Okay, got his first break, right? Federer had a set point, receiving serve at 30-40 at 5-4, and did not convert. Okay, so and there was many of these. Look, ultimately, what I'm getting at is Federer went in the entire match 2 of 17 break points. 2 of 17. He might get 6 break points against Nadal the whole match. And if he's going 2 for 17, that tells you he's probably going to get 0 for 6. That would be a tough hurdle to overcome. That I can promise. Okay, number one. Federer, though, gained some momentum. He had a masterclass diving volley, right? At the tiebreaker to go up in the third set. That kind of, I think, deflated Wawrinka a little bit, even though the fourth set was close. Wawrinka was digging deep. Unfortunately, Wawrinka, I think, started to run out of steam a little bit. A little cramping maybe in the leg. I didn't hear that, but I could see he was kind of a little lame on his legs a little bit, kind of shaking his legs out, but maybe I'm wrong there. But Federer won. But Federer will not be able to play Nadal like that. It'll be a very quick match and not much worse than the likes of Nishikori if he plays that way. Maybe a little bit more respectable, but we'll see. All right?
Yeah, I just see it real tough for Federer to beat Nadal. I don't see it happening. This is clay. If it was, I would be a lot more excited if this was on grass or hard court than on clay.
All right, real quickly, Roger Federer versus Rafael Nadal. I can't wait for this match. Who wins?
I say Nadal. I hope not, but I love Nadal. I would like to see Federer win, but I don't think so.
I cannot. Look, maybe I do or maybe I don't think Federer will win, but I can never say that I'm not going to pick Federer. Hence why I have a bet with someone that I'll do something crazy again on the show if Federer does not win the French Open. But I haven't heard from Anis Suzu in a while. Have you?
Nope.
Anyway, I hope you're well. All right, so the semifinals are set, at least half of them. So let's move forward and let's jump right into the rapid fire questions, which I always love to do. If you're new to this channel, I'm going to ask 12 questions, and there'll be a couple little fun bonus ones at the end. If you wish to answer, you must answer them quickly. You can't think. They're meant to be just shot out. And then we always read them, by the way. If you type them out, we read them. Carla reads them, tries to reply, and she's always like, oh, I'll read theirs, and we have this. So we read them. So have fun. Or not. But here we go. So, Carla, you ready?
Yes.
You must look at the camera. You cannot look at my questions, and you cannot think. If you think, you must pass to the next question.
I feel like I'm in what is it, those game shows? Go ahead.
All right, here we go. Question number 1. Life is tough, especially these days. The majority of us struggle to get by. Do you think your life gets easier for... Let me repeat this. It's long. Life is tough, especially these days. The majority of us struggle to get by. Do you think life gets any easier for any of us in the next 20 years?
No.
No. Life's going to get tougher for everybody. Of the last 3 majors played, would you say that this one has been the best?
No.
I would. This tournament's been fun, less the towel snatching in the crowd. I think there was a second instance yesterday.
You said the last 3 majors. Well, I thought U.S. Open was pretty good.
Well, I mean, the overall entertainment level, the overall playing, the overall crowd. The crowds play into it a lot, too. I thought the crowd, this tournament has been stellar.
The women's match was a lot more exciting at the U.S. Open than at the French Open.
What, Serena Pliskova? Well, that's one match. I think this whole tournament's been good.
I would say there was more tougher matches on the women's side. This one was more lopsided. A lot of the top seeds just dropped like flies. So no.
I've enjoyed this tournament a lot. I think
this is a good tournament.
I think it's arguably one of the best tournaments, major-wise, out of the last 3. That's just my opinion. Number 5. Will you cry if Rafael Nadal wins?
Yes. Of course. Because then I will say, haha, Novak did not win the next one.
All right.
Because I have a bet too, remember?
I had the numbers backed up, so when you read people's answers, watch my flip there.
Okay.
Okay, question number 5. Do you think this will be the last Nadal-Federer matchup in a major? Think about that.
No, because of the seedings.
We'll see. If Roger Federer loses, will he cry?
No.
Used to call him crybaby.
I don't think he'll cry at the French Open. No.
Just calling you out on that one.
Okay.
Number 7.
Number 7? I already answered 7 questions. You sure?
Yeah, life is tough. Of the 3 majors played, is this the funnest? Or this the best? Rafael Nadal. Okay, you got one more. Yes, you do. Here we go. All right. Question number 6. Okay. Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal meet in the semifinals once again. On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you?
6.
It's okay. I'm about a 9 on that one. I'm about a 9.
I would have preferred Djokovic to get one of them.
Question number 7. Question number 8, sorry. Are you glad this Nadal versus Federer matchup is not in Australia so you don't have to wake up at 3:30 in the morning again?
Say that again?
She always wakes up at about 3 in the morning to watch Nadal play no matter what. Watch it live, in other words.
I don't like watching recorded stuff.
So she gets up when Nadal plays, whether it's in Australia, 12 hours ahead or not. So the question is, Carla, are you, and any of you, are you glad that this Nadal versus Federer matchup is not in Australia?
Yes.
So you don't have to wake up at 3:30 in the morning
I'll be
again.
up at 4:30 anyways, but yes.
All right. Question number 8. Do you think Petra Martic should hit her backhand more and slice less?
Yes. I say the same thing with Barty, yes.
Question number 9. Dominic Thiem surely has been through a mental roller coaster the past couple of days, surely taking away focus on this tournament and his game plan. Do you think that this incident, as unfortunate as it may have been, will help Karen Khachanov win?
No. Actually, the team should be grateful because it made him more popular. There's American fans that have never heard of him and now know his name.
Fair enough.
Just saying.
I think it will help Khachanov considerably, and I think at this level
he
you have
wiped
to be.
Monfils. I don't think it's going to affect him.
I'm going to call an upset in that match. I think
I hope not, because then Djokovic is going to have an easier time.
You have to stay extremely focused to win 7 matches, 3 out of 5 sets at a major. I don't think this will help his overall focus. And what I mean is, when you're playing at this level in a quarterfinal, and the world is watching, you can't afford to be sitting down and even have some random thought. You know, if you put your towel over your head and you're hot, you're changing sides and resting, what goes through your head? You know, what are you thinking about? You cannot even afford the one cloud of thought inside your head when you're all thinking inside. You cannot even think about what some off-court issue is in your head, because if you do, you will lose. You will lose, and I can promise you Khachanov is going to be changing sides. Khachanov is going to be telling himself, all right, stay calm, see what I can do. Good, da-da-da-da. But I can guarantee you, at some point during maybe a 3-4 hour match, that Thiem may say, you know, okay, let's see what I can do. Let's keep hitting here. Let's keep hitting there. But dang, why don't that have to happen off the court? Well, wait a minute. What was I thinking about? And then that's when the thought process comes apart. So I'm just telling you from a player's perspective, if you play and you have anything in your mind, hence why a lot of players don't travel with their kids or wives if they have them, because they can't afford an argument. Any lapse at this level can be disastrous. So we'll see how mentally tough he is, but I think it will help Karen Khachanov. Maybe not win, but if he doesn't, I think it will help him make some noise.
Okay.
We'll see. Next question. If you had to wear one color for the rest of your life, what color would that be?
Yellow? Blue? I don't know.
Okay. Yellow or blue? I'll go with blue because you can kind of wear it anytime, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, question number 11. Grass season begins next week. Let's go. Favorite time of the year. Come on. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you?
A 10.
Let's go. Wait.
I like watching grass court. I prefer that, yes.
Question number 12. Do you think our show will grow, or is it a potential waste of time and energy?
I think it'll grow.
Let's go. Be positive. Let's go.
Yeah, gotta be positive.
So maybe all the hard work will pay off.
Yes.
All right.
Hard work always pays off at the end. You just gotta keep going.
Let's go. Last, and this is the bonus, 2 parts. Bonus question number A. Your favorite women's player currently on tour to watch play?
Anisimova.
After that Vondrousova Martic match, I'm going to say I'm going to give them a tie. That was a good match regardless of score and outcome. I like them both a lot. And the last, but never the least, will be this. If the world was ending and you knew exactly what time and when, so when, what time, where would you want to be?
With my family.
on a tennis court.
Sure.
Let's go! And try to, as the asteroid approaches, try to give it some topspin. Like, here it comes, let's go! Ultimately, it was quick and painless, but at least we tried to put some topspin on that.
That was
bad boy.
positive.
Let's go!
That was really positive.
All right. Ending the show, as usual, with with the thought or quote of the day.
So.
This one's quick, and I've used it before, but never has it ever been as important to try to, let's just say, to emulate, to replicate, whatever, okay? To put it into fruition, to use. Here we go. This comes from Plato. Be kind, for everyone is fighting a tough battle. Be kind, because everyone is fighting a tough battle. Life is tough, everyone out there, and it's getting tougher for a lot of reasons. Economically, overcrowding, pollution, sickness, disease, famine, wars, and on, global warming, you name it. It's not getting any easier, and it gets harder every single day. Getting by becomes like breathing. You have to breathe to get by, in a sense. You can't think about it. You just have to go. And sometimes I think about it too much. But the only thing that generally helps me out of the daily grind is to try to be kind to someone. With the world becoming very, very competitive, with it becoming very, very overcrowded in a sense. Becoming hotter and harder to deal with, I don't think anything helps out the greater good than by doing one random act of kindness. If everyone in the world could somehow do one random act of kindness a day, open the door for someone. My 6-year-old daughter went out on her own yesterday and picked up trash, and I didn't even ask her to do it. She spent like an hour and a half in a forest where we were playing tennis picking up trash, like 2 bags full. And came back like, look, Daddy, I picked up all this trash. And I was like, yes, let's go. That was even better than playing tennis seeing that. But one random act of kindness, in my opinion, if everyone would do a random act of kindness, I think the world would still be turning in the same way, but I think it would be a better and happier place to continue to struggle to get by in. Do you feel what I'm saying?
I agree, yes.
Open the door for someone. Don't respect a lady. Don't fly off at the mouth. Someone. Don't judge a book by its cover. Think before you speak. Slow your roll. Stay in your lane, whatever you want to say, but just keep your heads up and try to be kind. I think ultimately it's the best bet, right?
Correct.
All right, that's it, everyone. Click like below. Please share our videos. Please subscribe to our channel. And thanks so much to all of you. Without you, there is no us. Without you, we wouldn't keep doing this, at least not with the camera. We would just do what we've always done. So thank you for enabling us to share tennis with you. Much love to all of you. We will see you tomorrow. If it rains and there are no matches in France tomorrow, which could happen based upon the forecast that we looked at, then it may be not Wednesday, but Thursday. But hopefully there's tennis tomorrow. All right. Take care, everyone. And as Carla always says,
Au revoir.
take care. Adios.